welcome to this training video. In this training video, we'll go and cover the programming of your mind presented by Eric Worre. This is all about the education that is extending your knowledge, and with the Eric Worre doing these type of trainings for us, we'll actually have a possibility to learn much more about this profession. Eric Worre is a guy who has been the industry's leading author and also the leading author of this latest book here, 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional, which has become a #1 bestseller recently. And this setup here we will leave over to Eric is programming your mind, and this is the first part that will give you an idea of what's behind the mythology and the psychology of how you actually run a home-based business and how you actually become a very professional in network marketing. Here we go, we leave it over to Eric.
I'm going to show you something that happened in my mind, but would it surprise you to realize that you've been programmed not to succeed in network marketing? Would that surprise you? Starting at the age of 2, family, friends, co-workers, religious institutions, your boss, you've been programmed to fit into somebody else's model. So I want to talk to you about how to reprogram your mind. I want to start this event with how to reprogram your mind for success in network marketing. Does that sound like a good idea? All right. You got it? We good to go? Okay, cool. Reprogramming yourself for success. And by the way, this is the fanciest PowerPoint ever, because my nephew did it for me, and he's out working for like Lucasfilms and stuff, so don't think that I put it together, because I didn't, and the rest of the weekend will be very normal. Reprogramming yourself for success. See, here's how this works. If you take a computer and you type a letter, right? But that letter has a typo in it. And then you print out the letter. You see the typo. So you take an eraser and you erase the typo. Right? So you've printed a letter, or you've written a letter, you printed it out, you got the typo, you erased the typo. Success, correct? You're going to go back to the printer and reprint. Typo's still there. How does this happen? So you erase even harder. This will do it for sure. You go to a seminar. This will fix my problem. The seminar. That'll erase the typo. Go back to print, you got the same issue. When you go home, I still got the same issues. At some point, you got to go back to the computer. You got to, in the programming itself of that letter, you have to change the typo. Then you can print it out and have the result that you're looking for. Does that make sense? See, most of you came to this weekend saying, tell me what to do. I'm here for my to-do list. Tell me what to say, what to do, how to dress, how to, wake up in the morning. Tell me what to do. That's why I'm here, because I want to become a pro. And that's fine. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll focus on activity. If you draw a line in time, what most people will focus on is activity. What to do. And they think if they do that activity long enough, they're going to get a result. Right? Makes sense? And if they get those results, then the clicker will work. Then they can have the lifestyle. So what most people think, activity leads to results, results lead to lifestyle. So I need to correct my activity, and if I correct my activity, I will get the results, I will get the lifestyle. That's what this weekend is for. That's what this is all about. If I do this, success is guaranteed. Here's the challenge with that. There are more things than activity. The activity is the printer, right? It's not the computer. So if you try and fix what's being printed out without going back to the computer, you're only going to go so far. Let me show you what success looks like. If you draw success on a chart, success in network marketing, let me show you what it looks like. Doesn't seem to matter, doesn't seem to matter, doesn't seem to matter, doesn't seem to matter, all of a sudden it matters. Let me show you what failure looks like. Doesn't seem to matter, doesn't seem to matter, doesn't seem to matter, doesn't seem to matter. Wow, all of a sudden it matters. That's a chart of what success and failure looks like in life, in network marketing, in business. But here's the thing. Before activity, there's something else. Before activity, there is your attitude. See, you'll do the activity as long as you feel like doing it. But when you don't feel like doing it, you're going to stop doing it. So in this environment, this weekend, you feel like Superman, you feel like Superwoman, you could do anything, it's unbelievable. But you go back and the kids get in the way and somebody says boo and somebody says network marketing, I think you're stupid, you're making a mistake, somebody quits, whatever. And your attitude goes, what happens to your activity? When your attitude goes down, your activity goes where? Down. And there's something before attitude. What drives your attitude? Your thoughts. What you think is important. But Jim Rohn would say your philosophy. Based upon your thoughts are going to drive your attitude. Your basic belief system is going to drive your attitude. If it's important to you, your attitude will be good about it. If it's not important to you, your attitude is not going to be so good about it. And before your thoughts, is your programming. There's that computer all the way back there. So if you take a look at all of this in a row, you got programming leads to thoughts, thoughts lead to attitude, attitude leads to activity, activity leads to results, results lead to your lifestyle, right? That's how this works when it comes to developing a life inside of network marketing. That's what it looks like. And almost no one deals with the left side of that line. They deal with the activity. And we're going to give you a lot of that this weekend, but I want you to be thinking about the left side of the line because the left side of the line is what's going to drive your success. Activity is fourth in line, not first. If you wonder why you cannot stay consistent with your activity, you're mad at yourself, you're beating yourself up because you just can't stay consistent even though you know you should, this is why. Your programming has an error that we need to adjust. And it might just be a typo. It's not that there's something wrong with you. There's just a typo that we need to change so we can get a different output. You've got to fix the programming to fix the errors. So let's talk about what creates programming. What creates programming? This core level. Your family. Your family's going to have a huge impact on your programming. Where you grew up, what was important in your family, your family's belief system, their thoughts about money, their thoughts about success, their thoughts about entrepreneurialism, their thoughts about everything affect you from the age of 2. Are they risk takers or are they not risk takers? Are they entrepreneurs or are they not entrepreneurs? Are they 9 to 5? Are they union? Is it a union family? Is it a non-union family? I mean, there's a million things. What's important to that family is going to drive your programming. Here's what else will drive it. Your friends have a huge impact on you. You can't outweigh it. It's just massive. Your friend's belief system will impact your programming. There's no question. Education. The educational system will tell you what you need to fit into, what you need to do, how you need to do it. You need to be part of the matrix. Here's what's good, here's what's bad. Draw inside the lines, don't draw outside the lines. Your educational system creates your programming. Your religion. What's good, what's bad. It affects your programming. You have to decide whether that's good or bad. I don't know what it is for you. Your culture. Your culture and media. I'll just leave it up there. Your culture. If you're from Egypt, do you have maybe a different programming mindset than somebody from Australia? If you're from Colombia, you might maybe think a little bit different than somebody from India? If you're from Russia, is that a little bit different than somebody from the United States? Yeah, your culture drives huge amounts of things. You know, you take a look at some cultures that make education a huge priority. Go to India, there's more MBAs in India than there is college graduates in the United States. I mean, you go to the Far East, education. Some cultures just drive it like crazy. Some cultures don't drive it at all. Your culture, what's important, builds your programming. And the media drives every day. What is important to you? What you should buy, what you should think, how you should act, where you should go, what's cool, what's not cool. Talk radio is going to start to influence your programming. The television is going to start influencing your programming. The Housewives of Beverly Hills are going to influence your programming. The Jersey Shore is going to start influencing your programming. Heaven forbid. But it will, whatever you're watching. Constant negative news is going to influence your programming. What are all your inputs? So, laws of association says this. This is why your associations are so important. You're going to become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You're going to become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You're going to walk how they walk, talk how they talk, earn what they're earning, live how they live, read what they read, listen to what they listen to, go where they go, dress how they dress. You want a little test on the laws of association? Take the 5 people you spend the most time with, write down their income, what you estimate their income is. Average it, divide by 5. Add it all up and divide by 5. You're going to come up with a number. If you're not pretty close to that number, give it time. Because you will get close to that number. And I'll give you a secret on your laws of association. And some of the students I've worked with, some of my friends that I've worked with, they took this seriously and they changed their associations. When they changed their associations, they changed their life. The secret is this. You want to be at the bottom of your 5. You want to be in the lowest part of the economic ladder of your 5, the lowest part of influence of your 5. You do not want to have a posse. You do not want to have an entourage. I'll show you what happens when you have an entourage. If you're the most powerful person in the group, it's a problem. Be afraid. You need to be the least powerful person in the group if you want to grow. Here's why. When you do that, these people will pull you up. They'll pull you up. It's a natural byproduct. They will pull you up. The other side is if you're on top, what's going to happen? They're going to pull you down. I'm going to go crazy with this clicker, I'm telling you. They're going to pull you down. They're going to pull you down to their level. It's automatic. This is a law. It's not, some concept just thrown out there. Test it. Find out what I'm talking about. Find out if it isn't true. So, one of the reasons why I created Network Marketing Pro was to be one of your 5. To just be a friend, to just be somebody who will challenge you, push you, drip on you instead of negative media, positive influence. Putting together an event like this that'll challenge you, push you, make you grow. If you have one of the audio programs, for me to be in the car whispering in your ear, telling you you've got better in you, you've got greatness inside of you, you've got talents and skills inside of you, you can do better, you can grow. That's why. To be one of the 5. But you got to think about the 5. And if you're scared of your 5 right now, there's a couple things you can do. 1, don't spend as much time with people of low influence. Spend a little less time with people who are not bringing you up. Instead of 2 hours, 2 minutes. Instead of 2 days, 2 hours, Be very careful of the time that you're spending because it's having an impact, whether you see it or don't. Influence is unbelievable. I'll give you an example of influence. Come here a second, sir. It's Albert, right? Yep. Hi, Albert. Come here. This is Albert. Say hi, Albert. All right, let's say your goal is that camera right back there.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just one of your 5. Okay? And I'm going to walk with you on that path.
Okay.
And you're going to go to and you're focused on your goal. Okay, I want you to stay focused on the goal. And I want you to start slowly walking towards your goal. Okay? And I'm with you. I say, Albert, there's a really good movie out that we want to see. And keep going. You got your dreams and your goals. And there's this great barbecue place I want to go check out. And do you see this magazine? This really cool magazine. Look what happened to Paris Hilton. It's unbelievable. And look, a bird. I'm just one. Now come here, Albert. You think I'm joking? You think that's not real life? One friend can do that. Turn around again. Now again, I want you to walk and I want you to get distracted and I'm going to be a different friend. Okay? Let's go. No. No. Dude, no. We're going here. Got it? No. Give Albert a big round of applause, will you? So of those 2 types of friends, what are your friends like? Are they the ones that will force you to stay on track to your dream, or are they the ones that will not only allow you to go off track, but will help the process? You got to take inventory. You got to be thinking about it. This is your life. It's your future. So, one thing you could do is spend a little less time with those types of people, but even a little less time is still dangerous. Can you see just with that example how dangerous a little time with somebody who is determined to take you off track can be? How dangerous is it to go for a person who's struggling with alcoholism and trying to stay in recovery? How difficult is it for that person to go to the bar, even if they're not going to have a drink, they're going to go to the bar to just hang out. Maybe they'll influence the other people towards recovery. How dangerous is that? Life and death dangerous. They get in that environment, one drink, and they could destroy years and years and years worth of work and have to start over. So they know that they can't afford it. You need to know that you can't afford it if you want to get better. Okay? So the second thing you might need to do until you gather enough strength is disassociate with that super toxic person. Don't spend as much time. Be busy in other places. I mean, some people are so influential around you that they can quickly get you thinking bad thoughts within minutes. You got to be careful of that. But the biggest thing is expand your associations. Get around people like this. Get around people who push you, challenge you. Watch your Network Marketing Pro shows. Read a good book. Whatever it is that will feed your mind. And then a trick that I learned about this, because most people aren't ready to have wholesale wipeout of their 5. They do the list and they go, oh boy, how am I going to do this? Here's what I know. About every 90 days, one of your 5 will change. About every 90 days. Somebody's going to get a new job, or somebody's going to move someplace else. Somebody's going to break up and not be part of the circle, break up with their significant other. Somebody's going to have a new boyfriend, new girlfriend, whatever, and it's going to shake up your 5. A new neighbor's going to move in, an old neighbor's going to move out. Something's going to happen. When that happens, consciously choose who you're going to try and put in your 5 in that spot. Don't let it just fall in on convenience. Okay? Really important. All right. So how do you change? How do you change? How do I change the slide? Four-step process to change your thoughts. Number 1 is awareness. You got to be aware of what's happening, who's influencing you, where your programming is going bad. You're killing me. Number 2 is understanding. What do I mean by understanding? What I mean by understanding is, where are the repeating patterns in your life? Once you raise your awareness, you got to be thinking about your understanding. And understanding, here's what I mean by understanding. Where's my repeating patterns? Every time this happens, then this happens. Every time I get a little bit of money, then this happens. Every time I build up a little group, then they fall apart. Every time I am focused at an event, I go home and I lose my focus. Every time, every time, every time. What's the repeating pattern in your life? 3 is going to need to be disassociation from the negative influences that are contributing to that. And 4 is reprogramming your mind. Working to reprogram your mind. So, your thoughts. It's like, I heard Jim Rohn say, it's like we have a mental scale to determine what's important to us. On one side of that mental scale, we have life's distractions. And most of the time, life's distractions win. Your old programming wins. But here's what happens. We get an idea, we put it on our mental scales, and if that idea is more powerful, heavier than life's distractions, then we're going to take action on that idea. If it's not, if it's lighter than life's distractions, in other words, our programming says it's not that important, then we're not going to take action on that idea. It's as simple as that. If the idea is heavier, we take action. If the idea is lighter, we don't take action. That idea, how we think about that idea has to do with our programming and what we're feeding our mind. Tradition, etiquette, values, that can drive a lot of your thoughts. Your culture. So if you have a thought, you can put it on this scale. And is that thought bigger than life's distractions? You're going to take action. If it's smaller, you're not. Really simple. Really simple. So let's get back to attitude. So we've talked about programming, we've talked about thoughts. Now we get to attitude. We're going to do basically what we think is important. We're going to have a good attitude about what we think is important. So, you know what I'm just going to say next? I'm tired of clicking this thing. Okay? Cool. There's 4 important attitudes that you need to think about. Next. Attitude number 1 is about your past. How do you feel about your past? How does that drive you? How does that affect you? There's some of you that have come into this weekend beating yourself senseless over the mistakes that you've made. Yes, I could be successful, but I've been in 8 companies. You don't understand. Yes, I've destroyed my warm market. I could be successful, but my warm market is dead. Yes, but, with my upbringing and the way I was raised, it's so hard for me to understand success and embrace the future. Yes, but, I've had failings and bad relationships. And yes, I'm too fat or I'm too thin or I've made these different choices and I've done bad things in my past. Whatever that happens to be. What I want to say to you is use your past as a school. Go to school on your past. It's led you to where you are today. I was talking with Joshua. He went through some hard times 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But he had to go through those hard times to be where he is today. He would not be where he is with the group that he has and the organization and the success and the growth and the family and everything if he didn't go through that pain. That was part of his journey. It was part of his learning process. So think of it as part of your journey. You're going to be fine. Use your past as a school. Don't use it to beat yourself up on. All of us have a past. We get to decide how much weight we give it when it comes to our chances for a future. Okay? Next is how you feel about the future. You're going to be pulled in one of 2 directions. And I can tell, talking to a person for 5 minutes, which direction they are focused on. If I talk to somebody for 5 minutes, I can say they're focused on their past and they're living there, or they're focused on their future. They're focused on what they did, or the failings they had, or the success that they had in the past. And they're not willing to focus on the future. One person that I'm really proud of, his name's Jim Faubert. Jim Faubert. Anybody heard the name Jim Faubert? Jim is a legend in network marketing. A legend. First person to make $100,000 a month in a breakaway compensation plan back in the early 80s with Herbalife. 3-level payout. $100,000 a month. 1982, 83, whatever it was. Had that huge success, had some things happen. He went off, started his own company, had some problems with that company, had a partner in Mexico that stole his company from him, filled out false papers and ended up owning the company, which is still a successful company today. Jim was left out. And Jim lost his way. He lost his way. And he will tell you this. Jim became what anyone would call an MLM junkie. He was in 40, 50 different deals. Every few months he'd be talking about some other thing. And everybody said, what happened to Jim? And about 4 or 5 years ago, he had a revelation. And he decided, and he was living where? In his past. But don't you understand what I did and the success that I had and all these things? And he was trying to chase the past for 20 years, or 15 of them. And he decided, it was a spiritual experience that he had. He was broken to his knees, literally. and said, you know what? I'm going to let go of the past. I'm going to take the good. I'm going to let go of the bad. I'm not going to look there anymore, and I'm going to focus on the future. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to put my work clothes back on. I'm not going to pretend that I had some resume that entitles me to something. I'm putting my work clothes back on, and I'm just going to pick a company, and I'm just going to work. And I'm going to do what I know how to do, and my future is stronger than my past, and I'm going to make it so. And he started with no special considerations, no organization, having this reputation as a junkie, all of this stuff. And today he makes and he's just built it step by step by step by step by step by step. And today he's got a very successful organization. I think he's making about $70,000, $80,000 a month. 4 years later, he changed his focus. Some people get hurt in MLM. I've been hurt. I've had my heart broken. And for years I focused on telling the story of who did what to me and why that wasn't fair. And what that was focusing on the past. And then I let it go, and I put more love in my heart, and I let go of all those heartbreaks and disappointments, and I started to focus on the future, and then everything changed for me. It could change for you too, okay? All right, good. Next, please. How you feel about each other is really important. How you feel about the past is one thing. How you feel about the future is another thing. How you feel about each other. We need each other. We need to care about each other. Care about the people in your organization. They're not just the means to an end. They're people with hopes and dreams and lives. And when you change how you feel about each other, knowing that we all need each other, and you're not so cool and you're not the most amazing thing ever. Yes, you might be the leader. You might have a bigger pin, but that's just a little bit farther ahead around the track. It's not because you're faster or better or more amazing. Your job is to transfer that belief to that next person, to care about each other. Also, I would say, can I give a commentary on network marketing, the network marketing profession? There's a lot of friendly fire in network marketing. We take enough shots from the world being ignorant and judgmental and harsh. We don't need to take it from each other. I understand that you might be proud of your company. I understand you might be mad that somebody left your company and went someplace else. I understand that you might be irritated at seeing somebody bounce from thing to thing. But what I would ask you to do is have a different level of maturity. I have a dear friend who thinks anyone that's not in his downline who's been in more than one company is an MLM junkie. If they're in his downline, he'll ignore it. He'll give them a pass because, they're in his downline. But anybody outside of his downline, if they've been in more than one deal, they're an MLM junkie. Really? He's been in 6 deals. I'm glad he's successful now. I am. I'm glad. Jordan Adler went through what? 12 companies? Never signed up a single rep. What would you call him? MLM junkie? Today he makes $1 million, $2 million a year. He has a good life. He needed to find his way. We don't need to take shots at each other. We need to support each other. And there were times when you needed to avoid Jim Faubert. You needed to be a friend, but don't introduce your world to him because he was in 40, 50 deals. He hadn't found his way. But be a friend anyway. Don't sit in judgment in the little fireside talks and just be talking crap about somebody in some other company because they don't line up with your thing and you're trying to find something to take shots at. Just don't do it. Understand they may have lost their way. Wait for them to find it. Have some compassion while they do. It'll be okay, okay? Can we do that as network marketing professionals? Is that okay? Good. I hate the little sewing circle in network marketing that just loves to sit in judgment like the Greek gods looking down. I hate that. How you feel about each other is important. But here's what's most important. Next, please. How you feel about yourself. Are you willing to give yourself a break? Are you willing to have some compassion on yourself? Are you willing to see a better vision for you? Are you really willing to do what's necessary to forgive you? Hardest person in the world to forgive is you. So tough. We're our toughest critics. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a fresh start. Give yourself a future. Give yourself some encouragement. Give yourself some light. I'm hard on myself. I have to watch it. I'm tough on myself sometimes. It can be dangerous if you get too tough on yourself. Okay, next, please. So we're back to activity. Attitude. We're finally back to activity. Tell me what to do. And let's get back and show you the charts. Go ahead and grow the chart, please. That's what success and what failure looks like. Formula for success. On the top side, formula for failure. And here's the thing that's a fake out. When you look at this chart, when you start that line in time, the line in time, the difference between success and failure, you can't tell. That's the fake out in network marketing. You can't tell between the person who's doing the right thing and somebody who's not doing the right thing. Next, please. Let me give you the formula for success and the formula for failure. If you want the formula for success on top, it's a few simple disciplines practiced every day. The formula for failure on the bottom is a few errors and judgments repeated every day. It's just little tiny things. The successful person does those few simple disciplines. Why is Jim Faubert succeeding today? He's doing the few simple disciplines, and he's not repeating those few errors in judgment, and over time, that's turning into a future for him. If I was to interview the top earners in this room, they will say it's just a few simple disciplines that I repeated over time. And it's a few errors in judgment that I avoided over time. That's what got me there. Next, please. So if a person does the activity on the top, one person, hands out a tool in the last 24 hours. Next. And the other person doesn't. You can't tell the difference. They both come into this room. Some of you have passed out a tool in the last 24 hours. Some of you haven't, and I can't tell. I don't know who did and who didn't. Somebody used the product, next. And somebody didn't. Can't tell. Don't know today. I might know in 3 months. I might know in 30 days. I might know in 2 weeks, but I can't tell today. Somebody attends the meeting, next. And somebody doesn't. Somebody does a 3-way call with a prospect, next. And somebody doesn't. Somebody has a home meeting, next. And somebody doesn't. You almost can't measure in that short period of time. Somebody doing the action and somebody not doing the action. So it seems like it doesn't matter that much. So you are tempted to stop doing it. Because the other person's having fun and you're not. You're doing the discipline, they're doing the error and judgment, they're having fun. You have delayed gratification, they get instant gratification. Well, who would prefer instant gratification? Everybody. Next, please. Next. 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 All right. See that top line? Here's what I will tell you. If you do this, it's going to be lonely. And if you stay on the discipline side, it will be uncomfortable for a period of time. the disciplines every day when nobody's watching, nobody's in the room, nobody's patting you on the back, nobody's encouraging you, nobody's, telling you to go get it, nobody's checking up on you, nobody's watching, it's going to be uncomfortable. Next, please. And at the same time, the people who are engaging in your business, in the errors and judgment, it's comfortable. They're hanging out, they're having fun, they're going to the parties. So it's hard because when you're staying home and you're doing the work and somebody else is going to the beach, and you can't tell the difference, they're making about the same amount of money as you're making in network marketing, it's hard to stay doing the disciplines. It's hard. Next, please. Here's why it's hard. For every 20 people, even in your business, 19 of them are following the errors and judgment. Next. 1 are following the disciplines. 1 out of 19. So do you feel sometimes that you're weird in network marketing? I guess I'm just different because other people in network marketing, they're not doing what I'm doing. I'm doing the home party. They're going to the movie. I'm making the calls. They're reading a magazine. I'm shopping on Black Friday. They're doing a promotion on Black Friday. Here's how I know somebody's in the 19. You want to know how you can figure it out? Because they don't wear special clothes, but they do special things. Here's how you find out. Next, please. Blame. Next. Justification. Next. Complaining. You talk to somebody in your group, and if it starts coming out of their mouth, yes, but this, yes, but that, oh, but you don't understand, I just had this thing, I couldn't get a sitter, justify, justify, justify. My upline wouldn't help me, I couldn't find anybody for a three-way call, blame, blame, blame. Well, if the company would just open up in this other market, or if they'd improve this product, or if they'd change this price point, complain, complain, complain. The people on the top end of that curve, the 1 out of the 20, they're pretty quiet when it comes to that stuff. They're too busy working to be complaining. So if you find yourself, but hey, somebody's got to complain, otherwise nothing gets changed. Justify, justify, justify. Let it go. Get to work. Company will figure stuff out. They know what the issues are. They don't need you to point it out. Trust me. They know what needs to happen. On the top side, next. Those people just take responsibility. And they keep doing the thing, and doing the thing, and doing the thing, and doing the thing, when it doesn't seem to matter, and nobody's watching, and nobody cares. Here's what happens on the error side. They keep complaining, they keep justifying, they keep blaming, they keep going through that process, saying, I'm in network marketing, I want a future too. And here's what happens. What started to feel comfortable, next please, becomes uncomfortable. Becomes uncomfortable. That's when they quit. They didn't do the discipline, didn't do it, blame, justify, complain, blame, justify, complain, errors and judgment, errors and judgment, errors and judgment, errors and judgment. They fall off the face of the earth and they're done, they quit. But when they quit, they're very good at justifying it because they reach out to the other people in their circle of friends who are in the 19, and they say, well, what do you think happened? And the rest of the 19 say, it's not your fault. We're thinking of quitting too. You can only do so much. We gave it everything we had, didn't we? No. You went to the beach. You went to the movies. You went to do everything necessary to avoid doing the work and following the disciplines. Or maybe you did the disciplines for a few minutes and then you lost faith. Because here's the thing. You know the saddest thing in the world of network marketing? See where the green drops are? A person goes that far doing the disciplines, and they don't see that big a difference between them and the failures, and they say, enough, I'm not doing the disciplines anymore. I mean, this is crazy. And they give up there, and they join the 19. And they say, you know what, you're right. When they're a few disciplines away, a few steps away from freedom. That's the biggest heartbreak in network marketing. See, some people say the formula for success in network marketing is to never quit. Not true. You can stay on that failure line, not quit, and still fail. You have to stay in the game. That's the only thing that'll guarantee that you don't succeed is if you quit. But to succeed, you must commit to the little disciplines practiced every day to be able to create a future for yourself, because what was comfortable with the errors became uncomfortable. Next, here's what happens to the other side. What was uncomfortable becomes comfortable. My $1 million earner friends would tell you that's true. My 6-figure earner friends in the room will tell you, you know what, that's right. It was lonely, it was lonely, it was lonely. I had to find some other people on the discipline side that would give me some encouragement and be my friend and tell me that I'm on my right path. I had to surround myself with the right people, but now my life's good. John and Tiffany, where have you guys been in the last 2 weeks? Cayman Islands? Pretty nice, right? And then like 3 weeks ago, you're in Vegas, having fun. Life's pretty good. Life's pretty good. How much you make last month? $280,000. Life's pretty good. But when you were starting, were you taking some arrows? Were there some days that you weren't quite sure? Were there some days when people were trying to drop seeds of doubt in your mind? Were there other people on the errors and judgment path while you were on the disciplines path? Was it lonely some days? There's no question. But is it comfortable now? Yeah. Don't stay too comfortable. Don't stay too comfortable. Balance it out. Balance it out. Still learning, still growing, still achieving, right? All right, next, please. Is this helpful? All right. Let's talk about results. Activities lead to results. Repeating patterns going to lead to what you need to do. Results, if we go back to the timeline, you got programming leads to thoughts, thoughts lead to attitude, attitude leads to activity. Doing those little things when nobody's looking, nothing seems to matter, long enough until it gets comfortable, that's going to give you some results. And here's what I will tell you. A lot of times, if you can go back and you can fix your programming, you're going to be in good shape because the program is going to drive the whole engine. But there are times when it will go backwards. If you do the activity if you do the activity long enough, you'll change your attitude about it. It can go backwards. If you're afraid of the telephone and you go make 1,000 phone calls, your attitude about the phone will probably change. If you engage in the discipline long enough, it can go backwards. Next, please. Your attitude will then start to change how you think about this. Next. And those thoughts will start to change your programming. I've done activities long enough that it actually changed my programming. There's a lot of things that I've done in network marketing that have gone backwards and reprogrammed based upon doing the action. Next, please. But here's a better way. Do the activity, get a result, take that, go back and examine your programming to see if there's either a fault or something that you need to encourage. Next. If you go take that result back to the programming, think about it. Okay, what's really important to me? What's a core value? Maybe this weekend can help to shift some of that. Next, please. What most people get stuck in is this loop. They have a good attitude, they do the activity, they get a bad result, they go back and have maybe they don't do the activity, they wait. Their attitude is the thing that just drives this little loop, and they get stuck, and they don't ever go back and fix anything. Next, please. So now you get a good result, and the results are a byproduct of programming, thoughts, activity, and attitude and activity. That's what results are a byproduct of. It's natural, right? It's not just the activity, it's the rest of those things. Next. Lifestyle. Results allow you to go to the Cayman Islands. Results allow you to give to the causes important to you. The results allow you to care for others. The results allow you to have freedom. Live the life that you want. But there's a difference between just having money and having freedom. I will tell you this too. Results are an output. They're the print. But if your programming's messed up, you won't be able to keep what you get. Even if you're in the right place at the right time. I've dealt with this my whole life. I still have programming flaws in me about retained wealth. I do. I'm still working on it. I don't know if it's, I feel like I don't deserve to, because I've earned millions and millions and millions and lost or given away or spent, whatever, millions and millions and millions. By now, I should have $20 million in the bank. I do not. Why? Programming. Programming. So you can get some results, but that's going to, your lifestyle is also going to be dependent on your programming. You can be a person that has a lot of money, doesn't have a good life. You can be a person that has balance and lives a big life, or you can be a person that gets a lot of money, spends a lot of money, doesn't ever have anything. Always living in crisis mode because you're addicted to it. That's part me too. And I'm still working on that stuff. Still working on that stuff. So lifestyle isn't on automatic, kick out if your programming has some flaws in it. So you got to think about all these things all the time, okay? The reason why I'm saying this at the beginning is we're going to spend a lot of time on activity this weekend. What I want you to understand is this stuff is going to have a bigger impact than you think on your 2013. Next, please. Your lifestyle is a choice. Next, please. Programming leads to your lifestyle. Next, please. Disciplines. When you talk about the disciplines, you talk about those 7 things, or you talk about the things you're going to do every single day. There's only 7 basic disciplines that you need to learn, and we're going to talk about this weekend. Discipline number 1, finding people to talk to. That's a skill. It's a discipline, finding people to talk to. Number 2, inviting. Having them look at your product or opportunity. Number 3, presenting. Letting them know in the best possible way what it is you have to offer. Number 4, following up. Takes 4 to 6 exposures for a person to make a positive decision on average in our business. It's not just a one-time thing. Number 5, closing, helping people make a decision to become a customer or distributor. Number 6, helping a brand new person get started. Helping them join your business in the best, most efficient possible way. And number 7, building for events. Those are the 7 fundamental skill sets. When you read the book, that's what you're going to find is the 7 fundamental skill sets. You learn those skills, you'll be fine. There's leadership, there's other things you can add to it, but what you will find Is if you learn those skills, you're good. If you don't learn those skills, you're going to keep repeating patterns until you do. Luck, timing, and positioning can go away for you, and you can step into a greater level of ownership of your life. Next, please. Let me show you something. You see this? Programming leads to thoughts. Thoughts leads to attitude. Attitude leads to activity. Activity leads to results. Results lead to lifestyle. I want to show you what this really is. You've seen it in a timeline, but here's what this really is. Next, please. This is really a tree. This is how you grow your life. The lifestyle is the leaves, and the branches are the results, and the activity is the foundation. But what do you need in order for this to stand? Next, please. You need the root system that drives deep with the programming, the thoughts, and the attitude that'll give it life, that'll give it stability, that'll give it longevity. If you sprout up and you don't have a root system, what's going to happen? You're going to get blown over. If you focus on the programming, the thoughts, and the attitude, and we will drive the activity today to build a solid redwood tree. And then those results are going to start to sprout out. And the lifestyle, all those leaves on the tree, all those lives you were able to touch, all those people you were able to impact, everything that's been able to happen for you. You ready for that? Yeah. All right.
All right, good stuff here from Eric, and I hope you all got good value out of it. You can now tick off this first video of this series of videos of the Getting to Know the Network Marketing Pro training sessions. And the next one here is GoPro's #1 video, which is covering the first of the 7 steps in becoming a network marketing professional, finding prospects. So go ahead and look into that video. Talk to you soon.